I'm going to have some handouts here, but I'm going to throw it open now for questions. Ask me what, you've been afraid to ask. Karen.
I know you do body work, so if you've got any dents or dings or actual accidents.
Yeah.
I know that you do detailing, so you can actually do everything from speed cleaning the inside to making it pretty on the outside. What other services do you provide that Gardener around?
Those are the areas that make us the most money.
Mm-hmm.
We do specialty painting. We paint scuba tanks, laptops, guitars in special effects colors. Paint that costs $5,000 a gallon. Limits your market. Although, like, I painted my own laptop, and I'm a part of a group called All Experts, and they always email me. People email me and ask me about these different kinds of specialty things. But we do specialty painting, and we do big trucks, cab overs, that kind of thing.
Thank you.
What about motorcycle tanks?
Yeah, that too. Motorcycle tanks and frames and
do the meatloaf thing.
Say what?
Do the meatloaf thing on the motorcycle tank.
We have people that do graphics.
Goaltenders masks?
Excuse me?
Goaltenders masks?
Yes.
Yeah, we did quite a few of those for Frank. Brian?
So when someone's in a collision and it's not drivable or what have you, what sort of happens? Is it a case of just saying to the tow truck driver, take it to Autoart, who's the address?
No. At an MVA, what happens is the car goes to the tow yard of the person that has the tow truck. It goes to see Unitow, Drake, whatever, okay? And then after that, it'll get towed to ICBC. Let's just assume you're an ICBC. Right? And it'll get towed to ICBC to a place called Central Estimating. And there, your contact begins with them. They'll tell you have to choose a body shop, and so you choose a body shop, and you mention the name and address of the place. Preferably Autoart on Anna's Island, 654 Derwent Way. Contact Ann, 521-0864. That's the thing. But usually, if you don't tell them, then they'll automatically tow it to one of their preferred shops, which has to do with the big banner shops. And so our job is tougher. I mean, we cannot rest. We have to let people know all the time about our shop and our facility and how to get there and that kind of thing. Otherwise, we're going to lose.
Yeah.
And we're not going to lose. Anybody else?
Have you ever considered becoming an express shop?
Yeah, there's three tiers of insurance company relationship. The first is a vendor, which we've been for 16 years. The next one is the basic accreditation, which we are doing now. Now we've had a staff shuffle, so everybody has to have not just certification, but everybody has to have a certain number of training hours in the last 12 calendar months. So not be the 1 year, but the last 12 months. And so one of our body men is 8 hours short, which he goes on the 27th of August to get that fixed up. And then our accreditation is like full blown, but it's all about money. I mean, they just want more money. And then to be an express shop, the reason that you're an express shop is so that ICBC road people don't have to come out onto the road to reassess cars. Now, I don't know if you understand what I'm talking about, but when an estimate is written and the car comes to my shop, you bring your car to my shop with a claim. I phone ICBC and I strip it down, I phone ICBC and I tell them to come and take a look at the car because that's part of the deal. They can't see what they can't see, so I strip it down to the bumper off the fender, any hidden damage is then identified. An express shop simply takes pictures of cars. They do everything. ICBC is charging more money. For the shop gets more money, but that's all taken up in administration. So really, nobody's winning except them. But yeah, we have to do it because that's part of the game. Yeah. Karen?
How do you deal with scenarios? I had my last car accident where ICBC turned around and said, well, it quite possibly was the cause of the accident that caused this damage, but we're not 100% sure, so we don't want to do it. So they were only willing to do 75% of the work, and I had to pay for the rest.
So they're telling you that some of the part of the damage on the car was not related, and they're not going to pay for that?
Yeah.
So they have to prove that. Did they do that? They must have done that.
And at the time, I didn't know you, I didn't know where to go with it, so I just made a good chunk of the bill.
So she has to prove that it's being related.
It's actually, you know what, it's the shop's job. If you brought that to
Yeah.
me, I would have to prove that it was part of the accident or it wasn't part of the accident. I mean, it's straight up, either is or it isn't.
Yeah.
You know, if you're trying to pull some BS or something like that, you know, then it's going to be pretty obvious, and plus it's going to be a bad mark on the part of the shop, especially if you're an express or a valet shop. Then they watch very closely and do reviews and things like that. And but there's got to be more to the story. I mean, there has to be more to the story. If there was something that was related to the accident, they won, you didn't fight hard enough, or it wasn't related. I mean, there's only two things it can be. And I've had this tons of times. Usually what happens is that ICBC, if I tell them, okay, look, we was hitting the fender here like this. I have a home in the shop right now that was hit and was stolen. And so if you imagine the side of the car, okay, you get the fender here, so the wheel flare is damaged, and then so on, and it down, okay? And there's rust around the front corner of the fender, which indicates old damage, okay? But the headlight's broken, like not smashed, but the inside bracket's broken. Now that headlight, I said to the guy, okay, what's going on here? I mean, this is not related to the accident. I know the headlight's broken, I know it was stolen. And beside the headlight, the flare has been damaged, so we have to paint that. I took the flare off, and you can see how the fender is damaged underneath the plastic flare because it went in. Okay, but the headlight wasn't part of the damage. So I called ICBC over to take a look because they never saw what was behind the flare. So I pointed that out to them, and so that was fine. But then we still got to deal with this little bit of a rust around the top corner of the fender. And so they gave me to paint the fender, which you have to do it anyway because it's damaged there, and the rust guys stuff that in there. But the headlight was definitely not related. And it's my job to say it's not related. I mean, you know, if I'm going to push for it to be related, then it goes against my system. Is that for me, Brian? You understand? Is that clear?
But if it is something that ICBC is trying to say no to, and you feel that it is ICBC's responsibility,
they're not going to. They usually don't, in my experience. And Helen, correct me if I'm wrong. In my experience, they don't usually take the initiative and say, "Oh, that's not related." I mean, some guys do, but they are out to, you know, that's their thing. You know, I mean, they're trying to be somebody they're not. But if they're just doing their job, it's up to us to show the impact and the subsequent damage to the impact, and to, you know, put all that in the package and reverse it and give you back the thing and get you on your way. Yeah. Anybody else?
How long does it take to paint a vehicle?
Well, it's funny you should ask that. I painted a '79 Camaro yesterday. I painted a 2010 Camaro color, lots of gold pearl in it. The temperature was about 100 degrees in the spray booth, 50% humidity, and it took me 4.5 hours. It's a good thing you weren't there. I would have been pissed right off. I was very, very hot.
So that's including,
but it's nice at the end of the day.
So that's including all the prep and stuff?
No. The average paint job is about 30 hours.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and it costs about $5,000.
Oh.
Half of the paint job has to do with taking parts off. No. Has to do with taking parts off the car so that it doesn't look like it was painted. I mean, you get a mask around door handles. And a lot of cars today, they have these little rubbers around the rubber gaskets around the door handles. You know, you don't have that stuff. You don't
want that paint.
And the bumpers have to come off because the way they mesh together against the quarter panel. If there's a little bit of a gap like that, if you don't take them apart, then you're going to overspray the clear inside of those crevices, and it's not biting onto anything. So over time, the vibration and so on, it'll peel off. And so that's half the job. That's why I was saying in my little thing over there, the infomercial, that we try to talk people out of getting complete paint jobs. Because another thing happens too when you're painting a car. Am I just about out of time? You stand out of time. Huh?
Yeah, you're out of time.
Why didn't you say something before? I didn't hear anything right.
Playing Danica. Joking.
If anyone has more questions for Dan, there's again after the meeting, we'll be hanging around somewhere to pay Dan.
Or I could still go on. I have lots to say.
So thank you, Dan. That was really great.